Okay, part 8. Los Lunas Decalogue Stones, New Mexico. Yes, folks, these stones are pre-Columbian. Okay? Do your research. They have the Ten Commandments in Paleo-Hebrew. All right? Not Paleo-African. (1956) film, The Ten Commandments. As you can see, that's Paleo-Hebrew writing, so don't go around saying that that's not a real language. They knew it in this movie, so that's why it's in there. Okay, because you have to do research when you do these movies. You make these films, you got to do a lot of research. Again, Paleo-Hebrew writing. Okay, you can read this on your own, starting with 2 Kings 17, 1 through 7. This is how the Israelites got to America. 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, 40 to 46. And Arsareth is America. And Arsareth is a Greek corruption of the Hebrew Eretz Ahareth, which means another country. Okay, so basically, if you do the math, been over here in America for about 2,750 years. And if you look at 41, which is a key verse, it says, verse 41, but they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Okay, Nephilim was here, not mankind, not Africans. All right. Arsareth is America, from the Jewish Encyclopedia, 1906. Okay? Deuteronomy 29 and 28. And the Lord rooted them, the Israelites, out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this day. The Israelites are still here, folks, and that's you so-called Negroes, so-called African Americans. Okay, if you go down to the second one, that's you read about that. That's Deuteronomy 6 and 4, and it says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one." That's the Shema in Hebrew. So they were speaking Hebrew down there. Asher and the other tribes down there in South America. Okay. The Mexicans kept the Jubilee, while the Indians of Peru and Guatemala observed the custom of the levirate marriage. And just a little bit about that. That's Deuteronomy 25, 5 through 10. That's when the brother of the deceased brother goes into the brother's wife and conceives a child with her if she does not have children. So read about that in Deuteronomy. Manasseh ben Israel therefore concluded that the aboriginal inhabitants of America were the lost 10 tribes. See, everybody knows this except for the actual people. All right? You read about Lord Kingsborough, who gave up his fortune, his life and his fortune, proving the thesis that the Mexicans, were descended from the lost 10 tribes. Okay? That's just about King Joseph, who had a Assyrian tablet that they found. That's the tablet. You do the research on that. Over 500 treaties with the American tribes, primarily for land cessations. All 500 treaties were broken because we were dealing with Esau, Edom. Psalm 55, 20 and 21. 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were drawn swords. So a covenant is an agreement. Book of Jasher, 26 and 17. And the boys grew up to their 15th year, and they came amongst the society of men. Esau was a designing and deceitful man. What does that mean? That's your government, U.S. government today. You ain't getting something for nothing. There's always something behind whatever sort of kindness that they're trying to pass out. For instance, that flu shot. Y'all better stop taking that flu shot. You still get the flu with the flu shot. And it's free. Imagine that. So that's Esau Edom. He was designing. That's a characteristic. That's a characteristic of the so-called Caucasians today. Designing and deceitful. Self-explanatory. Self-explanatory. They told y'all were Indians, but y'all want to be Africans because your enemy says so. Dan Calloway, please subscribe to his channel if you haven't. The brother goes deep and detailed. Basically, again, self-explanatory. Yeah, we were not called, before being called nigger, we were called Indians. Not slaves, nor Africans or Mongols. Yep, self-explanatory. These are the chiefs. So what part of Africa are they from? Well, you Pan-Africans. So-called Negroes. Again, fake. Hollywood deception, folks. Stop falling for it. Okay, I found this to be interesting. I don't have $250,000 for this book, but I was able to get the PDF. Number 1, Black Indians have lived in the Western Hemisphere since time immemorial. Read 2nd Ezra 13, 40-46. Okay. Number 9. Okay, the U.S. government, for the most part, selected pale-skinned Indians or Hollywood version Indians to occupy U.S. government-established reservations. Number 29. The U.S. school system and the media have been the two biggest giants behind the programming into the masses. Fake, fabricated images of native or indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere. And we all know that the Amalekites have control of the U.S. media. All right. Number 17. All people or indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere, aka Indians, spoke different dialects of a language synonymous to, you guessed it, the Hebrew language. Not Tuolingit, not Shaka Zulu language. Hebrew, the language of the Negroes. All right? The Buffalo Soldiers. Israelites. Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So not all so-called Indians are, in these last days, they're not all dark-skinned. All right? So take the time to read that. Self-explanatory. Yep. Hebrews making again. Afro. These are your so-called Negroes, folks. Again, Chief Warhorse. Yep. Rosa Parks. Amelia Parks' ancestors were American Indians. No, she is an American Indian. But she was referred to as Negro. So she had to go sit on the back of the bus. All right. James Baldwin. Again, look him up. You'll see where it says he's basically telling you, the Negro, that you are the Indian. All right. Hamite, Shemite. Mm-hmm. Who said the so-called Indians were pale skinned? Not the Milwaukee Public Museum. You see this fellow right here, kind of looks like LeBron James. Hialeah, another Indian word, Hebrew word, which means plains or high prairie. Explain why American Indians look like Negroes. Tatanka Sapa, Black Bull, which means black bull, and that's in Dakota, Indian. I mean, these are all self-explanatory. Red Fox, yep, Seminole Indian. Or Seminole. Okay? You can all do all the research you want off of this. Nothing is being hidden. That's Pharrell. Some of your Chickasaw. Chippewa. These are the people that were in the Americas long before Columbus. Okay? And I mean long before Columbus. Angela Bassett. I mean, wow. Morgan Freeman. Again, a lot of these images are just hidden, folks. They are just hidden. Again, like I said, if you want to take a longer look, probably have to stop the video and take a look at it. That's Apache Chief Glass. He ain't no African. That's your Apache, folks. New York Public Library. Nia Long. Sanaa Lathan. Tyler Perry. There's Nelly. Bobby Brown. Got Waka Flocka up there. Richard Roundtree. John Thompson. Self-explanatory. They know. Yeah, stop smiling with these Idumeans. They don't mean you well. John F. Kennedy. Long before, this is before he was assassinated, so look who he has with him at the White House. Yeah, okay. Garrett Morgan, Big Chief Morgan, excuse me, Big Chief Mason. Okay? Seminole Indians described as Negroes. Please stop the video and read it for yourself. Self-explanatory. That's nothing. Yep. When did they let slaves become chiefs? Dennis Haysbert. Wakanda is in North America, folks, not Africa. Okay? Look it up. It's in South Dakota. And it's an Indian word, not an African word. Self-explanatory. Yeah, look how much land that they stole from us. Again, Creek Warrior. Found this interesting while they were holding up a banner with Hebrew writing on it. That looks like the newer version, not the Paleo-Hebrew. I found that interesting. Columbus, his ultimate goal was to recapture Jerusalem, aka the Hebrew Israelites. Yep. Yep. Self-explanatory. Okay.